I am so excited today. The weather has cooled down, but Houston's firefighters are turning up the heat for a great cause. Of course, the 2026 Houston Firefighter Calendar is out, and some of the featured heroes are here with us in the studio. They're showing off muscles with a mission because every calendar sold helps children recovering from burn injuries. Joining us to share how you can get your hands on one and support the cause are Marty Langton with the Houston Professional Firefighters Association and Laura Stein with the organization's Charitable Foundation. Good morning.
Good morning.
It is that time of year
It
again.
is.
And look, you have one in your hand.
I feel like we should have pulled it out of a drawer.
Yeah, and he's referring to, there was one year we had one in a drawer, and this woman called and she goes, "Oh my gosh, I saw that. Can you make an old lady happy?" And we're like, we made an old lady happy, and we got her one of those calendars. All right, Marty, in 2000, you became a firefighter and paramedic. You embarked on that career. What made you decide to do that? Because a lot of people say you're rushing into danger when we tell everybody else to rush out.
You know, living a life of service is a calling, and it's something that even as a young child, I knew that whatever it is that I wanted to do, I wanted to help other people. And the first interaction I had with the fire department and firefighters, I knew that's what I wanted to do. Yeah. And so whenever I get focused on something, I make sure that I get it done. It has been the most amazing career of my life, and I'm so thankful and blessed to be able to serve the citizens of Houston as a firefighter.
Yeah, you started at Cedar Park Fire Department. Mm-hmm. You joined the Houston Fire Department in 2009, where you remain today. It takes a certain commitment, and you've seen a lot. You know, we'll see news stories of fires, but there are many more fires that take place than we ever see show up on news stories. And it takes a lot for you to go in and come out, and they're not always happy endings.
No, they're not. And what I tell people is that, you know, take a profession where you have to be 100% right 100% of the time. And it's something that Houston firefighters know all too well. We're the largest fire department in Texas, one of the largest in the nation. And the number of calls and the amount of calls our firefighters see sometimes is very, very heartbreaking. That's why we have a very increased risk of PTSD and issues with mental health. That's why we focus on it. We don't ignore it. But I'll tell you that there is nobody that does a better job, nobody that is braver, and nobody that I'm prouder to stand next to than Houston firefighters. And they are absolutely remarkable in every way.
Yeah, all right, explain this for us, because sometimes people will call like a paramedic, mm-hmm. and then the fire truck shows up. Like, yes. My mom, when she was at her retirement facility, she's like, a fire truck showed up and they were good looking. I'm like, Mom, did you really fall, or are you just trying to call and see the firefighters again? But sometimes people get that mixed up, but there's kind of a dual purpose there.
Yes, listen, every Houston firefighter is an EMT. Every paramedic in Houston is a firefighter, and so it's all interconnected. And so what happens is that when you have an ambulance or a paramedic unit that's on a different call, they're going to send the closest available unit to stabilize the patient to make sure they're okay. We are 650 plus square miles, and the amount of calls that we run is astronomical. And so what we want to be able to do is get there as quickly as possible and take care of the people on their worst day.
Yeah. Laura, you have a servant's heart, and you've worked on a number of charities here in town. I've seen you with a number of organizations. What brought you to this one?
So right after Harvey, my mom and dad had met Marty, and Marty convinced them to convince my mother really to chair the first Red Hot Gala. Mm-hmm. And at that time I was at a different organization, and after work I would help her and do all those things, and so she kind of lit that fire underneath me to be helpful and to learn more about the fire department. And the night of that event, I looked at Marty and I said, "You should hire me." And he said, "Well, you should come interview." So that's...
And here you are.
And here I am.
You've always been passionate about first
responders.
Ma'am. Like, how could we not be, right?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. You were talking a little bit about the fire department. It started in 1838. Protection Company #1.
Yes.
They were not covering that many square miles at that time,
no.
But as you mentioned, now the 4th largest fire department in the U.S. About 100 stations, over 4,000 firefighters. And we talked about just kind of the calls that you answer, about 330,000 EMS calls a year, 84,000 suppression, rescue, and hazmat calls a year. That's a lot.
It is, and it takes a lot, and you don't see all of the calls that we run on the news every day because, as we know in Houston, the news cycle's so quick.
Yeah.
There are fires, there are rescues happening all around Houston daily. What you typically see on the news is the ones that reach 2, 3, 4, 5 alarms.
Right. High rises.
Yeah, but they take a lot of personnel, a lot of equipment, and these brave men and women do this every single day. So whether it is a medical call, whether it's a car wreck, a pin-in, a rescue, a fire, whatever it is, it all falls under the fire department.
Anytime you leave and someone's been hurt, it hits you hard.
Yes.
But especially when they're children, and those children suffer those burns. So Laura, let's talk about what this cause, the calendars that we all have fun with, but the serious cause that it supports.
Yes, so the profit from the calendar goes to purchase garments for burned children. So when you're younger, your skin is very thin, especially after being burned. As you grow, it becomes very easy to be injured and things of that nature, but insurance doesn't necessarily cover those garments, so that's what we do with the profits from the calendar. We cover those garments.
And but like you said, as kids grow, they grow out of things and need prosthetics and all that type of stuff as well. All right, when it comes to the calendar, there's a legacy story this year. It was just a matter of time.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
Took me a minute. A Burke on our cover. Yes, so
I'll take care of that. Stop reaching for that. Yeah, there he is on the cover.
He is a second-generation firefighter. His father is also in the department, and so this year for June is normally Father's Day, is kind of how we do that. And so this year in June, we put his dad's calendar photo at the bottom to kind of honor him as well.
Yeah, that is, look at that right
also
there.
to remind him how young he once looked.
Yes,
So,
and
yeah.
I like that month. That's one of my favorite months so far,
Yes,
but I'm
and
sure there's some
so-
other favorite months as well. So signal the alarm, please. There we go. All right, we are going to meet some more of our firefighters who are on the calendar, starting with Mr. February, Ari Nelson Hinton. Good morning. Good morning. All right, so Ari, you're a Houston Fire Department engineer and operator. What made you decide to join the department?
The camaraderie I see and the ability to be able to help people, change lives. I played football growing up, and then with my college at Houston Baptist, we used to do a lot of things, helping kids, going to different schools, having the kids come watch us practice. So being in the fire department, it's the same thing. When we go visit the schools and kids see me, it's the same way when I was a football player. They wanted to be a football player, now I get them to want to be a firefighter.
There you go. You've been Mr. February for several years. You are a fan favorite. Thank you very much. All right, pass that microphone to Austin Eckert, Mr. May. All right, so why did you decide to join?
As Marty said, it is a calling. So I mean, I believe that we're servants of the community, and that's something that I've always wanted to do.
Yeah. All right. There are only 4 women who have ever been featured, but you have more women who are part of the calendar as well. And so now we have there's some of the women right there. Okay, can I just get a 6-pack like that? Okay. All right. Miss September, Sasha Newman. Hello there, Sasha.
Hello. Good morning.
All right. First of all, what made you decide to want to be a firefighter? And we used to call it fireman. When
Yes.
we were little kids, you say, "What do you want to do when you grow up?" And the boys would say fireman, and women would never say that. So I would imagine when little girls see you, they go, "Oh, look at
All
that!"
the time.
Yeah.
All the time. And it just warms my heart. Actually, similar to Marty, my first interaction with firefighters was back in 2011 at my school. And I just saw how they came into our community, and they were the first ones to respond. They're always ready to act. It's just a calling. It's a passion-driven industry. You have to want to serve your community. You have to want to be involved with not just the young kids that look up to you, but then also the adults who are looking for the worst day of their life. They're looking for help.
Yeah,
So,
you show up at the time they feel the most helpless.
Absolutely.
And so thanks to all of you. Thank you so much. Not only for that, but we know what it takes to be on a photo shoot. And Laura was saying, you don't even drink water that day because you can't have any separation between that muscle cut and your muscle. But thank you so much for the sacrifice that you make every day. All right, how do we get the calendar?
That's good. Good question. Go to www.houstonsbravest.org. They're on sale now. You can order them online, and we will ship them to you. Make a great stocking stuffer, or stick it in your drawer. And if anybody else out there, we'll leave a couple, but it goes to a great cause.
I'm thinking all those office party,
Yes.
white elephants.
Oh,
a
yes,
little bit.
white elephant
So,
gift.
yeah, there we go. All right, the 2026 Houston Firefighter Calendar is available right now. 12 months of heat, heroes, and heart, only $40. Get your Christmas gifts early and start the new year off right. All proceeds, again, help local children to heal from burns. Order your copy online at houstonsbravest.org.